Welcome to the vlog. I am so excited. We are going to be in Barcelona, Spain all day today. I'm going to go over the 7 pillars to aesthetic bodybuilding. And
Troy, you ain't got no gains. You ain't lift no weights.
And I'm gonna kind of walk through the city, show you guys like the top 10 sites and attractions. I'm gonna show you guys my meals. It is gonna be epic. Let's dive right into it. We're at the Sagrada Familia right now. It is absolutely epic in person, and it's one of these places where you really have to see it in person. I'm gonna try to give it some justice in this video and in pictures, but it is amazing, and it's gonna lead me into the next pillar of aesthetic bodybuilding. Now think about this for a second. I'm gonna use this amazing building right here as a metaphor. To have this level of architecture, obviously the people building it had to really rise up their game and take architecture to a whole new level at the time. Now, I want you to think of aesthetic bodybuilding as the same way. Now, I don't want you to think of, you're gonna go in the gym and you're gonna do things like the lateral pull down, you're gonna do bicep curls, you're gonna do all these exercises, and if you do them like 9 out of 10 people, you're not gonna get aesthetic, and you're gonna go online and you're gonna go hating on every single person with an aesthetic physique thinking that they take steroids. That is not the case, and the main difference that I see in aesthetic bodybuilding and people who aren't aesthetic is you have to take every exercise, every bit of your training to the next level. So what I mean by this is mind-muscle connection. If you're just doing a normal set and there's no advanced training technique built in, you've got to dial in that mind-muscle connection, literally with all your focus. All of your focus thinking about what muscle group to train, and then advanced training techniques, things like FST7, rest pause overload, drop sets, supersets, monster sets. There's so many different ways to take your training to the next level.
Hey, make sure you subscribe because every single day we have a new video on shredding and aesthetics and sometimes just straight up entertainment. So subscribe, hit that notification bell so YouTube will blow up your inbox and let you know it is time to get shredded. And if you do that, we will send you a ferocious little baby lion straight to your house.
Alright guys, welcome to Barceloneta. Wait, I did not say that right. Barceloneta Beach, and we had no idea, but it is like a partial nude beach over here, and I saw way too many not aesthetic ball sacks over here, so I'm gonna have to blur it out or my video editor will, but it was pretty crazy because I literally had no idea there were just nude beaches because this is a very, very packed area. But that is not part of aesthetic bodybuilding. But the second pillar to aesthetic bodybuilding, and as you can see, we got the little coastline of Barcelona. It is absolutely beautiful out here, much different than the beaches in the United States, much more scenic and much more packed as well. It's like very congested over here. But the second pillar of aesthetic bodybuilding is carbohydrate cycling. We're gonna go for a little walk down here, check out some more scenery. So every single NPC guy, aesthetic bodybuilder, they do carbohydrate cycling. They don't do keto, they don't do any of that nonsense. You have got to be consuming carbohydrates, but you gotta cycle them for optimal results. When you do carbohydrate cycling right, you have periods of rapid lean muscle gains with no fat storage. And also you have periods where you're burning fat super rapidly and you're not losing any lean muscle mass. So it is the perfect storm when you wanna go on aggressive fat loss and you wanna go on very like super fast lean bulking periods. So I love carbohydrate cycling. I recommend when you're trying to put on lean mass, you do 1 to 2 high carb days, you do 4 moderate carb days, and you do 1 low carb day on your off day from the gym. The main difference when you're aesthetic bodybuilding is gonna be your carbohydrate intake. Your fats and your proteins stay relatively around the same. Now with carbohydrates, when I'm cutting, what I do is my high carb days are actually only about 350 grams of carbs because my moderate carb days are all the way down to about 175. And then when I'm lean bulking, I really jack up my carbs. My moderate carb days are around 325 and 350, and my high carb days are all the way up to 600 grams. So the biggest difference now with my fat, because I keep my protein right around the same thing. Protein is always about 1 gram per pound of body weight. I'm 190 to 205 pound range, always have my protein around that range. But fats, when I'm cutting, since fat is 9 calories per gram, what I do is I actually drop my fat to 55 to 65 grams, depending on if I'm on a high or low carb day. And then when I'm lean bulking, I'll only have my carbohydrates at about 80 because I prefer to really jack up the carbohydrates since insulin is highly anabolic. So 55 to 60 during a cut and about 80 to 85 on a lean bulk. All right, so we just walked into a little interesting bar here. So we're going up to the top. It's called Bunker del Carmel. It's supposed to be the best view of Barcelona. You can kind of see the city down here. and they definitely did not speak any English in there. It was kind of like, it looked like a soccer club or something, football. And they messed up our drink and put something else in it. And then she started talking to me and I had no idea what she said. I just said C, but it tastes good. I have no idea what I'm drinking. I tried to order a Brazilian mojito and like a Capriana. I'm probably saying it terribly wrong. You guys are gonna kill me in the comments. Capriana is like, how do you say it?
Cappuccini? I don't know.
Okay, we don't know how to say it, but we're gonna pound down a drink, Kitty Gaines and I, and we will see you guys at the top. All right guys, so we just pounded down a little Brazilian mojito. We are up here on this little epic hill overlooking Barcelona. I'm out of breath. Had to hike up here. Okay, so yeah, well, some stairs. Still kind of steep. So, next pillar of aesthetic bodybuilding is you have got to have a relatively small waist. Now, you don't have to have the craziest waist genetics in the world. In fact, like Greg Plitt, my favorite fitness model, fitness personality of all time, he was like a 31, 32 waist. So obviously you can't change how big your pelvic bone is right here. But what you can do is you can obviously build up the shoulders, build up the upper lats, and lose as much body fat in your lower abs and right here in this back fat area, because the back fat's gonna kind of like protrude out. And if you have a lot of back fat, it's just gonna make your waist look so much thicker. So what you guys gotta be doing is you can't spot reduce fat, so you gotta do a lot of high intensity interval training. You also have to incorporate lots of anti-estrogen and anti-cortisol foods. So anti-estrogen foods are basically foods like cruciferous vegetables like broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, all that stuff. And then anti-cortisol foods, eating foods really high in vitamin C. So like broccoli, red bell peppers, even supplementing with vitamin C right when you get up and post-workout is gonna go a long ways. And obviously just being in that caloric deficit, incorporating clean foods, not eating a bunch of dairy and processed food and vegetable oil and fried food. Even if you're in a caloric deficit, it's gonna make you feel bloated and you're not gonna have that small looking waist.
You out of breath?
I'm out of breath. That's the pillar, guys. Show you guys another angle of Sagrada Familia from this side. So the next pillar is so important, and that is developing all three heads of the deltoid. So you got the anterior deltoid, the lateral deltoid, and the rear/posterior deltoid. So it is so important that you develop all three heads of your shoulder, really get those 3D shoulders popping. In fact, one of my next videos on the channel, once I get done with all these vlog style videos, is going to be the 3D shoulder workout. In fact, if I could find a good gym in Paris or London, let me know in the comments below if you know any good gyms in that area. I'm definitely gonna shoot that for you guys. So the problem with most people's shoulder training is preventing them from, because keep in mind, aesthetics, wide shoulders, wide upper lats, small waist. So by developing all three heads of your shoulder, you get that really like 3D look. And if you just see someone with the anterior delts, the lateral delts, and most importantly, the rear delts really developed, it's just gonna give you this like 3D illusion. And when you have the ripped abs, the low body fat, the small waistline, the big chest, the ripped arms, that all combines into an incredibly aesthetic physique. So make sure you do a range of shoulder exercises that work the anterior deltoid, the lateral deltoid, and then most importantly, do not forget about that rear deltoid isolation stuff. Like really focus when you're doing the rear deltoid, like the little subtle hand movements, like not just going like out, but like, kind of like rotating your hand down is really gonna help isolate the rear deltoid. It is time for meal number one. I wanted to go here, but since Kitty Gaines is a vegetarian, I don't think this place is gonna fly. We literally have like the meat just hanging right here. I don't even know what that is. That looks insane. I have no idea what that even is. It all looks the same. I guess whatever animal this is, that animal did not skip leg day. Alright guys, so this is the first official meal of the day, 6:18, and you guys follow me on the pre-workout vlog. I'm definitely going to be including 1,5-dimethyl if all goes as planned, because I had that this morning when I worked out and I've not been hungry, and I've had a ton of energy all day and I did not crash. So first official meal of the day, we got this little salmon burger. Wait, they kind of ripped me off on the salmon here. Damn, oh no, there's two of them, never mind. Never mind. We got enough salmon here, so we got a little salmon burger, some fries, and some Americano coffee, and Kitty Gaines got the same thing. So the 7 most important exercises for aesthetic bodybuilding, number 1 and number 2, and these are the ones that you have to put progressive overload on, and try to just get 5-10% better on each of these every single month, and you guys are gonna be so aesthetic over the course of the next 6 to 12 months. So wide grip pull-ups and close grip pull-ups, if you guys can add some weight to them, even better. We're hiking up right there. It's supposed to be the best view in Barcelona. It's really cool up here. It almost reminds me of the Hollywood Hills of Barcelona because we have all these like nice houses up here. It's overlooking the city. But what I want to dive into right now is the next 5 exercises that you absolutely have to be doing progressive overload on for your aesthetics. Now this is so vital. So we covered the close grip pull-ups, we covered the wide grip pull-ups. Now squat and deadlift are 3 and 4. Even if you like, obviously like basically your upper body is what makes you look aesthetic. We got a cat up here, black cat.
Kitty gangs.
Kitty gangs in the house. Kitty gangs, that was cool. Hola. So obviously your upper body is what most guys are looking at for aesthetics, but your squat and your deadlift are gonna help you put on the easiest 5 to 10 pounds of lean muscle mass that you will ever put on, because your quads, your glutes, your hamstrings,
Those people up there. 3
of the largest muscle groups in your body. Got some people up here. It's like, what the hell is he talking about? Aesthetic bodybuilding? So yeah, your quads, glutes, hamstrings, so important. So even if you don't care what your legs look like, even if you can sleep at night having chicken legs, do not skip out on squats and deadlifts. It's gonna boost your metabolism. It's gonna make getting ripped so much easier when you have more mass in your lower body. So the last 3 exercises, you guys gotta put some progressive overload on and track. So what I mean by that is every single time that you do one of these 7 exercises, write it down in a little workout journal and add 5 pounds to that lift the very next time. So if you did 5 reps of 275 pounds, try to do 5 reps of 280 pounds. So by the way, we got an epic view. We're about to get to the very top here. Hopefully you guys can see that. So the next 3 exercises that I want you guys to go heavy on, progressive overload and mind muscle connection, is gonna be Dumbbell One-Arm Row. This is gonna incorporate a lot of shoulder, a lot of back, also a little bit of upper lat, an amazing aesthetic builder. Incline bench press, it's so important you get that upper chest. If you guys saw my upper chest video recently, where definitely check it out. I'll throw it in the cards and in the description below. Gotta drill that upper chest. And then last but not least, so we got the Dumbbell One-Arm Row, upper chest. Last but not least is some type of overhead press, because the 3D heads of the shoulders is so important. So doing like a Smith machine overhead press or a standing overhead press is going to give you guys those 3D deltoids, and it just goes so perfect. When you got a small waist, you're ripped, you got big shoulders, it is impossible not to look aesthetic. Right, guys, we finally made it to the top, and it is epic up here once again. It's one of these spots where you definitely have to see it in person, because this video, pictures do not do it justice. And if you can kind of see over here, there's literally a wraparound tour of the city. So it's like the ocean, or not the ocean, is it the Mediterranean Sea? I don't even know.
I don't know.
So the sea's over here, the water. If you guys can see that, can they see it? Sort of.
Sort of. It's kind of.
And then other side of Barcelona is over here. And the next pillar that I want to talk about is aesthetic bodybuilding. There obviously has to be some cardio included. Now, I think the best cardio is going to be high intensity interval training, just because it's going to speed up your metabolism and speed up your muscle building and your fat loss hormones. And that's why I created the Science of Abs program. 2 days per week of high intensity interval training is all you need to do. If you're in a caloric deficit, you know how to eat the right way, and you're doing the aesthetic compound lifts, or fasted cardio if you guys prefer that. A little easier on the joints. So fasted cardio basically means you're doing some cardio in the morning before you put any food in your system. And although there's not a ton of science that shows that this burns, say, like more calories and more fat, the reason that I like it is because it actually allows you, it just kind of puts you in the zone. Like when you get up and you do cardio before putting any food in your system, it just sets a mental tone for the rest of the day that you're gonna eat the right things, you're gonna, go in the gym, you're gonna crush your workout. And I just noticed the biggest edge for me personally when I do fasted cardio is the mental game side of it. So obviously fat loss, very important for aesthetic bodybuilding. You're not gonna be able to see anything in your body as far as your shoulders, your abs, your pecs, anything, if you're not at least at 10 to 12% body fat. So it is currently about 2 a.m. We're in the Gothic district, or Gótico district of Barcelona. It was so interesting. We were walking down these little like narrow side streets. There was all this graffiti. It was kind of like a little bit, what's the word for it? Like grungy. But at the same time, I didn't feel unsafe. It was very interesting, and we're walking like late at night, these like very, very narrow little side streets. So really interesting. Now it's like a little cruise port. We're in back of all these little boats and yachts and everything. And I'm actually gonna come back here during the day tomorrow and probably shoot another video, because there's just so much to see and do. And I'll think of a good video topic for you guys and show you guys some epic scenery of the Gótico district in Barcelona. But thank you guys so much for watching. That was my 7 pillars to aesthetic bodybuilding. And regardless of your genetics, regardless of where you're currently at, anybody can have an aesthetic physique if you follow these 7 pillars. So thank you so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe, hit the like button, comment below what you think of the video, and also if you're from Europe, help me out, be my tour guide, and let me know where I should go to conclude my trip. I'm gonna be in Paris tomorrow, London, Amsterdam, Munich, Zurich,
Lake Lucerne.
What?
Lake Lucerne.
Oh yeah, Lake Lucerne in Switzerland, and then we're going to Santorini, Athens, and Rome. So if you happen to live in any of those cities, let me know in the comments below where I should go, what sites to see, because I'm just kind of figuring it out the day of right now. So thank you guys so much for watching. See you on the next video. Alright guys, welcome to the video. We are walking in the Gothic district of Barcelona, and tonight we are going to do something very interesting because I've seen a lot of videos discuss marijuana and bodybuilding, and we're doing a little bit of research online, and we came across something called the Cannabis Club. I guess it's 100% legal here, and it's like a coffee shop, and they have like cannabis brownies and all these different things. So I've seen all these videos on YouTube where there's some guy in front of like a whiteboard talking about the effects of marijuana and bodybuilding. We're actually going to be the guinea pigs right now, and I'm going to talk to you about my personal opinion on it. I actually used to live in California. I had a prescription and everything, and we're going to make this vlog fun. So as you can see, we're in kind of like these little side streets of the Gothic district right now, and we are going on an adventure. We're going to see if we can get into the Cannabis Club. Might have been a pickpocketer. So here we go.
You ain't got no gains. You ain't lift no weights.